we go to the difference between markup and margin. To find margin, we have this following formula. Margin or gross margin equals to sales less cost of goods sold or cost of sales. I have an example. If a profit sells for 200 pesos and cost to manufacture is 140 pesos, so how much is the gross margin? Okay, so according to the formula, margin equals sales less cost of goods sold. So we have 200 pesos as sales, and then less cost of goods sold, which is 140 pesos. So our margin is 60 pesos. To find the rate or percentage of markup based on sales or selling price, we have this following formula. Okay, so mu or markup based on sales equals margin over sales or selling price. Okay, so based on our example above, our margin is 60 pesos, and then divided by the sales of 200 pesos, and then we multiply by 100. Okay, so the answer is 30%. Okay, so remember, guys, margin is addressing the profit as it relates to selling price. Again, margin is addressing the profit as it relates to selling price. Now we go to the difference of markup from margin. As I have discussed a while ago, markup is the amount by which the cost of a product is increased in order to derive the selling price. Okay, so remember the formula for selling price. Selling price equals cost plus markup. Example, a markup of 60 pesos is added to the cost of 140 pesos. So how much will be the selling price? Okay, so our cost is 140 pesos. Then plus a markup of 60 pesos. Okay, so the selling price is 200 pesos. To find the percentage or the rate of markup based on cost, we have this following formula. Okay, so mu or markup based on cost equals markup over cost. So our base is the cost, and then multiply by 100 to obtain the percentage. Okay, so based on the above example, our markup is 60, and then over the cost, which is 140, and then times 100. Okay, so how much it will be? Okay, so markup based in cost is 42.85%. So markup addresses the profit as it relates to cost. Again, markup addresses the profit as it relates to cost. Now we proceed to finding the markdown rate or markdown percentage. I have discussed a while ago that markdown is the difference between the original or old selling price and the new selling price. So let's write the equation or formula. Markdown, okay, equals the old selling price less the new selling price. I have an example. If an item selling for 450 pesos to sell at 400 pesos, how much is the markdown? Okay, so the old selling price is 450 pesos less the new selling price, which is 400 pesos. Okay, so our markdown is 50 pesos. There are two ways in finding the markdown percentage. The first way is based on the new selling price, and the other one is based on the old selling price. Okay, so we try to use markdown rate or percentage based on the new selling price. Okay, so our old selling price is 450, then our new selling price is 400. Okay, so we use this formula, markdown based on the new selling price. Okay, so our markdown is 50, and then our base will be the new selling price, which is 400. Okay, so and then multiply by 100 to obtain the percentage. So 50 divided by 400 times 100%, so it will be 12.5%. To find the markdown percentage or rate based on the old selling price, we have this following formula. Okay, so markdown based on the old selling price. Okay, so our markdown still is 50, and our base will be the old selling price of 450 pesos, and then multiply by 100, okay, to obtain the rate. Okay, so 50 divided by 450 times 100, so it will be 11.11%. So this is the markdown based on the old selling price. So you can find the difference between the new selling price and the old selling price in terms of rate or percentage. I have here an illustration. A bookstore priced a textbook at 650 pesos using a markup of 40% of cost. What is the original cost of the book? What percentage of selling price is the markup? Most markup problem can be solved by the equation selling price equals open and close parentheses 1 plus m, okay, multiplied by the cost. Okay, so where m here, 1 plus m is the markup rate, and the c here is the cost or the original price. Okay, so we try to solve using this equation. Okay, so the selling price of the textbook is 650. Okay, then 1 plus the markup rate is 40%. Convert it to decimal form. Okay, so 0.40. Okay, so our cost is unknown. Okay, so let's write C. Okay, so this is our equation now. Okay, so we can solve for the cost. Okay, so the cost will be 650 divided by 1.40. Okay, so the cost of the book is 464 pesos and 29 centavos. Since we already know the cost of the textbook, we can answer now the second question. What percentage of selling price is the markup? So before we can answer the percentage of markup based on the selling price, we need to get the markup first. Okay, so we can use the equation markup. Okay, so selling price less the cost. Okay, so the selling price is 650 pesos. Okay, minus the cost of 464 pesos and 29 centavos. Okay, so the markup will be 185 pesos and 71 centavos. Okay, then we can answer now the percentage of the markup based on the selling price. MU. Okay, selling price, our markup is 185.71. Okay, so our base will be the selling price of 650 and then multiply by 100 in order to arrive in percent. Okay, so the answer is 28.57%. Okay, so that is the markup rate based on the selling price. Now we are done with our topic markup, and markdown. We can now proceed to answer the problem I've given at the start of the video. I would like to recapitulate the problem. Vida is a student who does buy and sell on her spare time. She buys and sells anything she believes her classmates or schoolmates would buy. If she bought a perfume for 1,500 pesos and she wanted a markup of 20% on cost, how much will she sell for it? If she wants a markup based on selling price of 1,700 pesos, how much will be her markup? Okay, so the cost of the perfume is 1,500. Okay, and Vida wants to have a markup, okay, of 20% based on cost. Okay, so how much is the selling price? So we can use the equation selling price equals to open and close parentheses 1 plus m, then multiplied by the original price or the cost. Okay, so 1 plus m is the markup rate, which is 20%, and then the cost is 1,500. Okay, so 1 plus 0.20, okay, then multiply by 1,500. Okay, so the selling price is 1,800. Okay, so this will be the selling price if Bida will sell the perfume based on the markup of 20% based on cost. Okay, so the second question is, if she wants a markup based on selling price of 1,700 pesos, how much will be her markup? Okay, so based on the selling price of 1,700 pesos, okay, so the markup will be, okay, so selling price less the cost. Okay, the selling price is 1,700, okay, and then less the cost of the perfume 1,500. Okay, so the markup will be 200 pesos, okay, based on the selling price of 1,700.